Oh, what's up, guys? How it's going? Rush Demon Vampire here. Do another album review. Obviously, uh, see, see it on the screen there, Amon Amarth. But anyways, we're doing one to this masterpiece right here. Ooh, Amon Amarth, Jomsviking. And let me just put it up there. Well, you can see it right there too. Anyways, this is the album. This is a theme album, concept album, and it has 10 tracks on there. And before I just get into it, this is the first full album review I'm ever gonna do. So, this album is a fucking, masterpiece. Now, I took notes, so many, so I'm gonna have to go over these, but Amon Amarth is a band that's been around for a long, long time. The first they were Scum, and then they transitioned into Amon Amarth. And this band has really kicked ass for years, and they have the fucking brutality and all this type of stuff in their music. So Amon Amarth is really good band. Check out some of their older albums too, by the way, but definitely give Jomsviking a purchase. I recommend it. So, anyways, without further ado, let's get right into the track list here. So, first opener to this masterpiece is First Kill, and it starts off as Johan, the vocalist, starts off like this. He talks about how, not by accident, but I was talking about how it starts off as he was a no man's son, and it talks about how they entered the city to take the Vikings' wives and whatnot, and it's really just a great opener, just a little song to get you pumped up, get you ready for, the brutality of this album. So, First Kill is like an opener, pretty much. Wanderer is track 2 on the album of this lovely piece. And it starts off with some hard hitting bass for like 2 minutes. Pretty brutal bass, and the song is just really, I want to say, a little bit fast paced, and it's really, really nice. The whole song is pretty fast. It's just fucking amazing. And by the way, I'm trying to watch the profanity because, they got this YouTube censorship going on here, so I kind of got to watch what I say. So I'm going to use, when I think something brutal, I always get to say fuck and all this, so I'm going to have to try to tone it down because they will censor me. Trust me, they have been doing this crap. That's one thing I want to get into, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. That's for next video because it's just the album review. But YouTube is censoring the shit out of people. So just to let you know, I can't really say everything I want to say because they will censor me and, shut me down. So anyways, back to what I was saying though. Wanderer is definitely a great album to Jomsviking, and the outro is just so freaking amazing. And you can really hear the passion, and you can just really feel the emotion going through Johan at the end. Like he says, if this is his fate, so be it. Like, Johan is just really just a real hardcore guy, and he knows what it takes to make a pretty brutal song. Number 3 on this track is On the Sea of Blood. It's third track to this, and initially you can hear Amon Amarth going a little old school. You probably think they got a little little bit of thrash influences here in this song, and it's really heavy, really just ear bleeding, like gorging. It's just one of those songs that it couldn't get any heavier than that. And that's not the heaviest song on this album, but it is definitely pretty heavy. You can really headbang to this. I really recommend it. And you know, I heard a few black metal growls in there, and some of you know Amon Amarth isn't black metal. You know, is death metal, and some people call them Viking metal, but they're more Swedish. Not well, they're more on the death metal side. You know, just yeah, they more on the death metal side. I wouldn't say black. I wouldn't say black metal at all. Viking metal, you could call it that because of the lyrics, because it's basically the lyrics are Viking themed. The concept is about Vikings, Jomsviking. That's the I think it's the merciless Viking or some shit like that. I don't know, man, but you know the whole album is based on Vikings. You know, it's pretty just fantastic. You know, you could say this is melodic. You could say that. We could say that. Amon Amarth is a little bit melodic, but they have the old school, you know, death metal sound, but not just that. They have a little bit of a mixture of a lot of things, not just the old school death metal, because you can hear them coming back to the roots, the old Amon Amarth, kind of like tracks like what's a good track? I can't think of one. I can't think of really old school heavy track that they made, but just take it back a couple years to Amon Amarth when they were just brutal, and you didn't hear this like, you know, these Thor-like growls and screams and whatnot, and you know they just changed it up a little bit. The game has changed. It's not the same with this band. These guys have a lot of different elements, in my opinion. You can hear some thrash elements, black metal, a lot of different things. And when you have a track like On the Sea of Blood, you can hear a lot of things like that. So number 4 is One Against All, and it's one man, and he's trying to fight the odds. This endless battle with no allies, and he's by himself with his sword trying to fight off his foes, but eventually that one man takes a fall, and it's really a great story, really a great piece to this album. I think number 6 or 5, or is that 6? Have we? Yeah, I think that's number 5. I think Raise Your Horns. You see, yeah, that is number 5. Raise Your Horns. Raise Your Horns may be my favorite track on this album so far. Like, I mean, all the tracks are phenomenal, and it doesn't get any better. It talks about the fallen Vikings who died in the battle, and this song has like a melody to it, and you know, the background vocals or the voiceovers somewhat choir type. I don't want to say harmonic, but I guess not like D-mute, not like that, of course. Don't get it confused. Not symphonic at all, but it is somewhat of a choir type, like like, you know, it's hard to explain, but you gotta listen to the freaking track and you'll understand what I mean. You know what I'm saying? But really great song, and it's just amazing. You know, once you get to this track, if you don't like this album, it's something wrong with you. It's probably one of the best tracks on there. But anyways, number 6, The Way of the Vikings. They talk about what it means to be a Viking and how these warriors have shed blood, and how the Viking lifestyle is pretty brutal, and what it means, the ways of the Viking. So you can learn a lot about Vikings through this whole album. But anyways, let me speed it up a little bit. At Dawn's First Light is probably the number 1 hit on this album. The video, I think it was out before the album release. Yeah, it was. And it's probably a favorite on there. A lot of people like this track. I know I do. And it's really just a great theme. 1,000 burning arrows tell the story of the man who sacrificed his family. make a sacrifice for his family, his friend, his kingdom, and everything as he ascends upon the heavens. And I think the track may have been really personal for the band. Number 9, The Dream That Cannot Be. The first time I think we had a female vocalist on Amon Amarth album. And it features this singer from, I think she's a German singer, Doro Persch. Doro Persch. And like I said, they going back to the really bad Amon Amarth, the old school. And the reason why I keep saying old school, because Amon Amarth doesn't sound the way it does back in the day. So, last but not least, I didn't really do a review on the last track, but what I have to say is Amon Amarth, Jomsviking was a success, and not only was it a success, but it was just a piece that, just a track that we all need in our lives. This is what metal defines. These are albums that brings metal back. These albums give metal meaning. It tells you a story. Make more concept albums. Don't be like Amon Amarth. Make concept albums. Be brutal. Tell a great story, and possibly have a female vocal or something. Because she was bad, and this album was like great, and I don't know what to say to this. I don't know what else to say. Amon Amarth is pretty brutal. Not pretty brutal. They freaking brutal. They're effing brutal. And Jomsviking, like I said, purchase now at your local record stores. I guess Best Buy or wherever. Walmart, Kmart, whatever. Buy it. It's a brutal album. Buy it because I told you to. And buy it because you need an album like this. But anyways, it's been a great album review, and I'll see you guys later.